The next excuse that Piotr produced is that he is on a trial for embezzlement. When Kondrashkin heard that, he was petrified and dumbfounded. He was very surprised and shocked, and he said, "What kind of trial?" And he also asked that how much was that embezzlement deal? I mean, how much was the amount that he embezzled, and what kind of sentence he may expect. So Piotr said that it was 144,000, which was a huge sum, and Mr. Kondrashkin realized that since it was a huge sum, he might be sentenced for a longer years in the prison. So that in that way his girl's life may go waste. He feels that his daughter Nastia's life may go into waste. So he said, "There's nothing to be done. God be with you." He wished him all the best and said, "Since you had to face with a punishment, so all the best." But then Milken felt relaxed. He saw with a relief that he thought that finally he got escaped from that Kondrashkin's and his marriage proposal. By the way, then again, Mr. Kondrashkin didn't stop there. He continued again. He again asked him. He again continued and said that if Nastia really loves you, she could follow you to Siberia also. And beside that, he also said that Siberia is a good place. Even he also wanted to go Siberia if he didn't have that family to support. So he again pushed Piotr to propose his daughter, Nastia. Piotr was really frustrated. He thought that what a stubborn brute. He used this expression. He said, poor Kondrashkin, he said, "What a stubborn brute." That means what a ruthless father who really wanted to marry his daughter even to a devil himself, even to a criminal, just for the sake of getting rid of her. But that's not all at all. He continued a lot. But then again, Piotr continued. He said, "Sir, not only embezzlement, I have been trying for embezzlement as well as forgery. That means manipulating informations illegally. So it makes no difference. The penalty the same." Then Kondrashkin flightly refused or rebuked his excuse and saying that both are same. Since you are you are on a trial for embezzlement, it doesn't matter. If you have committed forgery, both sentences are same. So frustrated by his rejections, so now deep inside he was feeling like loudly. Then he said, "Listen, sir, I haven't told you everything." Then he said, "If you will know," that he's telling Kondrashkin that if he will get to know the secret of his life, that he will be very disgusted at Piotr, at him. So he said that he is a runaway convict. He is a criminal. He is a vagabond. He is a fugitive. Runaway convict means fugitive. So Kondrashkin, after hearing this, he was recoiled, as if stung with petrified. He was completely shocked and destroyed and petrified. He stood there for a minute. He couldn't say anything for a moment. For a long moment, he was just thinking and speechless, perplexed and motionless, and just staring at Milken, and his eyes were full of horror. And then he collapsed into his chair, and all his expressions and eagerness to talk just vanished, and he just fell into his armchair, waited for some time, and groaned deep inside. And then he said, "I never expected it." He was just protesting. He was expressing his disgust at Milken, and saying that, "I never expected that such a nice young fellow like you would turn out to be a criminal, a fugitive." And then he used the expression that, "What snake I have been hovering on my bosom." He's comparing, he's comparing Piotr with a snake who he was harboring, who he was treating well in his home for the last season. "Go away!" He's so disgusted that he's expelling him. He's saying, "Go away, get lost, leave." And He don't want to see you again. He's saying that I don't want to see you again. Just go away. Milken was very happy. He felt relaxed at deep inside, and he was rejoicing his victory made the floor. And he started to pick up his hat that was lying on the table, and he wanted to run away towards the door. So, but by the time he was picking up his hat and moving towards the door, Kondrashkin regained his consciousness, and he said, "Wait! And why haven't you been arrested yet?" He said, "Okay, Milken, wait and tell me, if you are in vagabond, a fugitive, why the police didn't arrest you till date?" So Kondrashkin again, Petro was again surprised, but he had to say something. So he replied, "Sir, I am living under a different name, alias. It's not my real name. Milken is not my real name. It won't be easy to arrest me. So for the police, it is very difficult for them to arrest me since I am living with a different name, with an alias, fake name. So perhaps." So then Kondrashkin said to him that since you are living with a different identity, with a different name, so it doesn't matter. The police will never get to know about you, about your background, about your criminal record, and you will live like this for the whole rest of your life till your death. So nobody will get to know. So don't worry, get married. Again, he pushed for his marriage to his daughter. Milken finally collapsed. He was frustrated by this, command, this rubbish. Milken broke out into sweat. Now he has no further excuse. He has run out of all excuses now. He has sweat on his forehead. It was no use taking the deception further, then run away. Now there was no further lies and excuses left to tell, to convince Mr. Kondrashkin so that the marriage proposal will stop. So now he has the only option, that is to run away ignominiously. Now he has only one option, that he should pick up his head and run away from the sight of Mr. Kondrashkin. But when he was about to dive, when he was about to run away towards the door without thinking about any consequences, an idea crossed his mind. And magnificent idea crossed his mind, and then he stopped there. He didn't go. He just waited and he tried that idea. "Listen, you haven't heard everything yet. Sir, one more thing I just wanted to tell you. You didn't know one more thing about me. That is, I am mad. And marriage is forbidden to the mad insane people." So he said, "Sir, I am not mentally stable." Kondrashkin rejected this claim and said, "I don't believe it." He says he rejected because he says that Piotr is such a logical person. He produced such a logical argument, so he cannot be mad. Then Piotr says that, "Sir, you don't understand." He's trying to convince him that there are some madmen who are like, they are normally same. They are normally, like ordinary people, but they get that spell of madness only during certain period of time. So Kondrashkin again rejected his claim and saying that I don't believe it. Save your breath. He's saying, just relax. I don't believe you're on these kind of theories. Then Piotr challenged him that he will produce a certificate from a doctor who will declare that he's a mad person. Then Kondrashkin says, okay. He agrees on the terms and conditions. He says, okay, I'll accept your challenge. I'll believe the certificate, but not you. If the certificate proves that you are a madman, then I'll believe on the certificate, but not with you, not on you. So then Piotr left the place and promising that he will produce the certificate within an hour or so. Milken snatched up his hat and hurried. He ran over with his cap, and within 5 minutes he was calling his friend Dr. Fitov, who was a practitioner. And when he was calling for help to declare him mad, and Dr. Fitov was already having a problem with his wife and a kind of a small tiff-taff with his wife, and he was straightening his hair after a rough, phase-off with his wife. So the moment he called Dr. Fitiev, he picked up the call, and Piotr explained him everything about the way he wanted to avoid the issues of marriage with Kondrashkin's daughter. He explained him everything, that why he wanted the certificate declaring that he is a mat, and since marriage is forbidden for mat, so he cannot. So he wanted to feign insanity, like Hamlet devised a famous English, you can say, term used after Hamlet's, the play written by Shakespeare, where Hamlet, the main character, pretended to be mad just in order to, find out that who was the real murderer of his father. So just like that, feign insanity means that pretending to be mad, or pretending madness. So after hearing him, Dr. Fitiev said that, my dear friend, if you don't want to marry, doctor asked. So Piotr said, not for all the tea in China, not even if I give all the wealth of China, I didn't want to get married. So Dr. Fitiev said that, my dear friend, if you don't want to get married, I believe that you are not crazy. You are a sane person, because marriage is such a stupid idea that only a mad person can consider, while a sane and wise person can never consider getting married. So by saying that, with this funny and amusing dialogue, the prose concluded. And thank you very much.